solve our problems, and not some type of fiction that all of a sudden we're going to get Republicans and Democrats together in a room and agree on some compromise on how much more freedom they're going to take from you. That is a total failure. That's what's been going on.
Can I have an update on House Bill 1207? An update on 1207?
So 1207. Of course, 1207 is the Audit the Federal Reserve Bill, and it passed the Banking Committee, then got put onto a regulatory bill on the House floor, and that bill has passed. So it has passed. We have 317 House co-sponsors, so there's very, very strong support for that. But in the Senate, it's not doing as well. There's 31 co-sponsors. They're getting ready this week or next to pass out a regulatory banking bill, and it looks like it's unless something magically happens, it won't be on that bill. What would happen then is, if it's in the House bill, not in the Senate bill, it goes to conference, and then they'll have to fight it out. But it still has a good ways to go, although I think if the American people had anything to say about it, it would be overwhelmingly supported that we ought to know what's going on with the Fed and how they bail people out. The Senate isn't as responsible to grassroots as the House is, and that's why we have so many co-sponsors. But I think, fortunately for all of us, the Federal Reserve has gotten a lot more attention in the last couple of years. Before, it was sacred. Nobody was allowed to quiz them and question them, and they were allowed to do it, and they would always save the economy, and they have this power and authority to create money out of thin air and do all the things that they do, and they've been, in the past, always able to patch things together. Well, that's coming to an end. And after the TARP fund scandals and the bankruptcies and how Goldman Sachs gets bailed out and the people know it, transparency is more important than ever. But let's say it does get through, miraculously gets through the House and the Senate, then you'd still wonder whether the establishment would put enough pressure on the president not, to sign it, to veto it, because it's a very, very significant event, and there's a lot of people who don't want to know what they've been doing for us to find out. But even if it got a president's signature, then you'd run into the courts. Just like the Freedom of Information Act have filed under that act. There's been two groups. I think it's Bloomberg and Fox Business News have filed suit, and that's going to take years.